I'm Rasheem Foster. I'm majoring in entrepreneurship and innovation management with a minor in public health. I am a program assistant for the King-Chavez-Parks program, often called the KCP. Thank you. So the King-Chavez-Parks program aims to create support initiatives for students who are academically or economically disadvantaged. This program focuses on helping scholars through mentoring, tutoring, study tables, and advising by providing helpful resources. Our goals are increasing students' GPA, advancing them to the next level, and getting them to graduate. We engage U and Flint students, personally offering individualized coaching to help students address barriers to academic success. We also connect students with our peers through our mentoring program and our social events. We will have a couple speakers coming up here. One of those speakers being our keynote speaker, Kellen Brandon. So please give your full undivided attention. He's a great author and speaker. As a former Division I athlete, Brandon often placed his hopes and dreams into the possibilities of a career in the pros. Once that dream was deferred, he was forced to look himself in the mirror and find his inner optimism. Brandon is now dedicated to helping others also find their inner optimism, apply it, and live it out on a daily basis. Kellen has placed his passion for communities into action by creating several successful programs and a business model designed to help others. Brandon Publishing now acts as a full-service publishing company dedicated to helping others achieve their dreams. Through writing, our KCP program has had the pleasure of working alongside Kellen. To publish 3 student-led books, please help me welcome Kellen Brandon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
One more time. Good evening.
Good evening.
I've traveled all the way from Los Angeles, California to be here with you. I haven't had any sleep. I have a cold. You'll hear it in my throat. My voice is terrible. And the energy y'all giving me right now, I can't do it. So I'm going to ask you one more time, how are you this evening? I mean, come on. You got food from the world-renowned Chef Nate. You got music from DJ Hype. You got books in circulation. You got people of all colors and creeds in here. Like, what are we talking about right now? How are y'all doing? Great. Okay. All right, so I'll just tell you a little bit about myself and who I am. My name is Kellen Brandon. I am originally from Flint, Michigan. I am the founder, as said already, of Brandon Publishing. Brandon is my last name. I believe in legacy. I'm heavy on that. All of my children carry my last name. I got a lot of kids too, y'all, but we won't talk about that. All of my children carry my last name. This is something that I look to pass on to them one day. One of them, whoever wants to step up. Right now, none of them are interested, but we'll see. So because of that programming, Brandon Publishing, what we do is we are an independent publishing company. We work with CEOs for the most part and those who have a large platform. Because we work in an independent space, it's very important that we partner with people who already have a large following. So what we do is create products that can travel with them as they're on panels or at conferences and so on and so forth. But what's most important to me is our youth programming division, where we work with young people ages from 4th grade all the way to the college age, where we work on anthologies, we help them create audiobooks, and the big thing is about teaching them literacy skills. For me, as an athlete, I know you may have heard the term dumb jock. Sorry, I don't fall in that bucket. But because of that, one of the things I learned, I did have a hard time transitioning once athletics was over. I didn't know what to do because all I knew myself as was an athlete and a basketball player. But one thing I was able to tap back into was I always loved reading. I always was able to read 2 or 3 grade levels above, and I loved writing. What was unfortunate was my community of Flint, and no shade to Flint, we didn't celebrate that. It was all about the dunks and the 3-pointers and stuff like that. It was where we got all of the popularity. But, you know, if I say, hey, I wrote a book or I got this poem that's pretty cool, nobody really wanted to hear it. So what I wanted to create was that same athletic celebration for authorship, for building literacy skills. So what we have is a program called the Create program, which I'm very excited about, where we allow students to create books, whether they're individual or they do what we've created here, which is an anthology. And then at the end, instead of having like a boring book signing, we actually have like a real athletic energy vibe. So like we'll have pizza, we'll have music, we'll have bounce houses, we'll introduce them like they're in the starting 5. And it's really cool. And so kids get really excited about that. and they get a lot more interested in the arts and writing and so on and so forth, journalism. So those are things that I wish I knew when I was a kid, so it's my job to give that back. I also was a student at U of M Flint for a couple semesters. Not really a student, I just kind of was enrolled. Spent more time at the rec center and playing intramural basketball than I did really going to class and stuff. So don't follow my lead there. My first year experience, we got a book here, and today you are all authors, but you've always been authors, and maybe you just didn't know it. And the authorship that you hold is for a bigger book than what you may have realized, and that book is the story of your life. And at this stage, I know a lot of people say, this stage was important, this stage is important, but if I could look back at my time as a young person, 17, 18, 19, 20, if I would have took my college years more serious, I think things would have turned out a lot better. So I want to encourage you to really pay attention to this moment and the choices that you're making. You own your story, and that story is your life. You are the author of your story, and you have control of how things are going to turn out. There are outside things that are going to come, and we'll talk about those shortly, but ultimately you are in control. So when I had the chance to hear and listen and read some of the stories in this book, please give this a chance. I know everybody's on their phones now. I know books are kind of like, but this is an amazing work with a lot of incredible stories and testimonies in here. So when I was reading, usually we just do a lot of the grammar stuff. We're just looking for grammatical errors, fixing and cleaning things up and polishing up the writing. But as my team and we got to dive in and read, I heard your pain. I heard your fear. I heard your resilience. A lot of stories in where you've overcome things that a lot of people would quit. I heard your wisdom. I learned a lot. I heard your success. So continue forward with what you're doing. Keep going. So writing a story, the greatest story ever, I would be remiss as a publisher if I didn't give you some tips on how to do that. Again, you are, and we're just going to keep it in the frame of a book. So we've written this book here. It's pretty thick. It's about 200 some odd pages. But the book that you're writing should be much longer than that. I have friends in my life that their books were maybe 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 pages, the books of their lives, because some of the choices they made, some of the things from their environment that they allowed to get to control them and alter their decision making. So for you, I want to encourage you. This is cool, but we have like Harry Potter style books to write about our lives, okay? So here's a how-to guide, starting with how to write your best story. Understand that you are the author and nobody else. There will be people like Professor G along the way. These are your editors and your proofreaders, the people that get to kind of look over the things that you're doing and say, okay, yeah, that's a good decision, maybe not. Here's some insight. Here's some things that you may not know. Listen to those people, all right? Find good ones. Be responsible for your writing and the outcomes. Don't be the person that's like, man, if the coach didn't like me, I would have been like, nah. Take responsibility for the talents that you have, find your gift, and go forward. Be aware of the type of writer that you are. Decide on your genre. Now, just because you decide on a genre, you may be an action. Your life may be an action book where it's full of action and ups and downs. All of our lives will have ebbs and flows. We'll talk about that too. But decide on your genre and try to stay in that lane. Don't find yourself going all over the place, over here, over there. Find what it is that you do, whether people like it or not. As long as it works for you, keep going forward. And don't write a tragedy, please. All right? So, knowing a way to write your best story is knowing the plot, the characters, the point of view, the setting. These are the elements of a great story, and we'll break those down. The plot. The plot is the events or actions that drive your story. So what drives you? And this is something that you need to think about consistently. What drives you? Not what drives your friends, not what drives your parents, not what drives your coworkers. What drives you? And maybe a lot of people don't like what drives you, and that's okay. There is a tribe for all of you, and you'll find it as long as you stay consistent. What actions drive you towards success? Where have you found a lot of victories in your story so far? What are the things that are successful for you? Have that self-awareness. What actions drive your story towards failure? Where are the places that you come up short? Are those things that you can improve on? Or are those things that you just need to throw out as distractions or things that get in the way of you achieving your goals? You come into the world looking like your parents and you leave looking like your choices. That's some dope information that I got from a mentor about 2 years ago, because I was blaming my parents for a lot of the shortcomings in my life. My mom didn't teach me this. My mom didn't teach her. I wish I would have knew that. She didn't put me in this program. My dad wasn't here. Like all of that. So what? So what? That's not your problem. That's their problem. You have your book to write now, and you have the power of the pen. You are responsible for how this story ends. No matter how it ends, no matter what your last and final sentence is, and when you put that last punctuation, period, question mark, exclamation mark, whatever it is for you, you're responsible. So remember that. There will be many different types of characters in your story, and I'm sure you've already met a lot of them already. All right? You got to know which ones fit. Some characters you're going to draw out what we call character descriptions, and you're going to throw them into your story, and they're going to mix in very well. Some you're going to draw up, you're going to throw them in, they're not going to mix very well. Get them out of there, all right? When people show you who they are, believe them. Some people you're going to draw up, and they're not going to look like they fit in your story, and they end up fitting perfectly, all right? So be aware of the characters that you have. All great stories have a negative character or object that you're up against and ultimately must defeat. When we think about some of our favorite movies, some of my favorite movies are Marvel, Avengers. We always up against something crazy, and it's like, we not gonna win, and then we do, right? Where's that in your story? You're gonna have adversity, no matter what. Who wants to read a story about everything being all good all the time? What's the fun in that, all right? So we're gonna have those ebbs and flows, and ups and downs. Embrace those. So let me give you the math behind characters, all right? So I'm not really good with math, but there's 4 subjects that I know, all right? Addition, subtracting, multiplication, and division, all right? So you're gonna have characters that do these 4 things in your life, and you gotta know who they are and be able to identify them right away. The characters who add, these are people that add things to your life and bring positivity. You're gonna have characters that subtract, the characters who drain your energy, you know them, and bring you negativity. Some of those could be family members, some of those could be friends, again, co-workers, even professors. People that drain your energy, you got to get them out of the story, okay? Sometimes you'll have to deal with them for a moment, but if you can get them out, get them out. Multiplication. Who are the people that multiply you? Characters who multiply your potential, that help you achieve your goals, that expand your vision. So when you say, I got this idea, they don't say, man, you ain't gonna never be able to do that. They like, yo, how can I help? Hey, man, I want to be a better shooter. Hey, bro, I'll rebound for you. Hey, I want to write a book. All right, let's do this. Let's figure out how to do that. What you need? A laptop? What you need? I got you. Those type of people that are going to multiply. But most importantly, they're the people that are going to hold you accountable. How many characters in your story right now hold you accountable? How many of us want to be around the people that don't make us uncomfortable? They make us comfortable. The ones that say, when you say, oh, man, I'm going to just play video games all day. I'm going to be on my PlayStation all day. They like, bet. Let's do it. We're going to just chill all day and do nothing. How many of those characters do you have in your story? Get rid of them. The ones who are going to multiply you are the ones that are going to challenge you to do more. All right? And then you have your dividers, the division. Characters who cause conflict, the ones who gossip and negativity. And the ones who usually do that are the ones who are always talking about it. And I can't be around them. They always gossiping. They always talking. Them. They're usually the ones who are doing it. Because if you're on your team, you're not worried about all of that. Some of the best people in your life are going to make you uncomfortable. Don't shy away from those people. And I'm not talking about uncomfortable like when you're standing next to them and it's like a weird vibe and you think they might do something where you don't feel safe. It's about making you uncomfortable, that challenge you to do the things that you don't want to do, take you to places that you don't necessarily want to be. The places that, like we talked about, those Avenger stories, where when we're up against that adversity, that bad guy, that evil character, that when everything that we thought would work doesn't, and we have to dive deep into ourselves to find something else. That's what it's about, all right? These are the people that are going to bring that out of you. So when you have those people that make you uncomfortable, keep them close because they care about you. You will add to yourself. So you're going to have those days where you like, yo, I'm killing it. I got an A on this. I got a B on that. Join this organization. I was promoted. I got the job. I got the apartment. All of those things are going to happen for you. And you're going to have times where you subtract from yourself too. But I always like to believe that 2 steps back helps you leap forward. All right. So even in those moments, just embrace it, man. You're going to fall short sometimes. We're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes and we're going to take away from ourselves sometimes. That's fine. You're gonna divide yourself, but it's very important that you pay attention to this part. I'm very, very bad at this, and I've been trying to get better. You start giving yourself to all these other things, and you're not giving to yourself. So in those moments where you find yourself running thin, okay, take a step back, see what's important, and bring yourself back together, because a divided you, if you all over the place, you can't move forward, okay? And that's gonna be a crazy book. If you're reading a book and it's like, oh, on this day I did this, and then I was in California, and then I was in Paris, and then I was digging a ditch, and then you're like, what is happening here? But that's how we look a lot of times when we're divided and we're all over the place. And lastly, multiply yourself. And that's, again, surrounding yourself with those people. Okay? When you pay attention to all of these things, you'll start seeing things multiply. You'll start expanding yourself. You'll start expanding your vision. All right? You'll start accomplishing those goals at a multitude that makes sense for you. All right? Find balance. All right. Another element is the point of view. This describes the lens through which the story is told. So first person POV is usually based on a non-fiction story, or the view of the protagonist. The protagonist is you. You're the main character in your story. Okay? So with that, I want to extract from this the nonfiction part. You got a lot of people walking around living in a false reality. You know any? You know anybody that's walking around in a false reality that they think something is happening, but it's really not, and you looking at them like, dude, that's not going on. You know somebody? Do you? Yeah. I know somebody that it's a lot of people out there that are living in a reality that is not real. They're hoping and wishing things are going to happen, but they're not putting any action behind those hopes and wishes, and they're thinking it's going to happen. You have people that play the lottery, and they think, oh man, you had those conversations. I quit taking part in those conversations. If you had $1 billion, what would you do with it? I don't know, because I don't have it, and I don't got time to think about having it unless I got it, but for now, I don't have it, so wasting 45 minutes of my day talking about something I don't have, a false reality, is a waste of time to me. All right, so in the same way, wasting your time talking about things that you're gonna accomplish, that you're not working toward, is a false reality. So when I was reading through these stories, and I'm like, man, you guys have overcome so much. You have so much vision. You have so many goals. And there are people who relate to regular stories. So yes, our fictional stories, our Harry Potters, those are a lot of the bestsellers. Sometimes we do need to tap out and just go to a world that isn't real, because our world can be hard sometimes, right? But people like real stories too. Self-helps. Third person point of view, the most common point of view used in fiction writing, and there's a reason for that. Again, keep your fiction at a minimal, and don't let anybody else tell your story. If somebody is telling your story in third person, you ever heard somebody tell you, I know more about you than you know about yourself? That's not good. I'm 43 years old. It better not be nobody out there that know more about me than me, because I've been here with me every day. But if I'm in that false reality and I'm telling myself things that aren't true about myself, somebody might know me a little better. Have that self-awareness and develop that. That's going to be a very important tool for you moving forward. So lastly, our rise in action, fall in action, climax, and resolution. These are all important parts of our story. The rise in action are the moments in your story that lead to the climax. This is the day when you set that goal and you achieve it. All right? You're on your way to that. The actions that you took towards achieving that goal, the conflict that gets in the way of your goal, the action that you take to get past the conflict and adversity, and move on towards accomplishing. And then we get to our climax. And the climax is the championship. Your success has to be consistent. Yeah, you got a 3.0 or a 3.8 last semester, but this semester you got a 3.0. But you still talking about the 3.8. So what? That was cool last semester. What are you doing this semester? You see what I'm saying? You was a good girlfriend or boyfriend around Christmas, but now you trash. You still keep reminding your partner, hey man, at Christmas time, I hooked you up. So what? What have you done for me lately? We have to be consistent, all right? Your success is only in the moment where you achieve it. And then after that, it's gone. Don't hang on to it too long. And then we get to our fall in action. So we start in our story, things start going down. This is where we're tying the loose ends and dealing with the aftermath of the climax. This is what I call the hangover. The moments when you become stuck and lazy. Or you could grow even more. Again, when you had that climax, I was one of those people when I was young. I have a good game. I might have like 15 or 16 points. And I'm like, man, I was hooping. Not realizing all the work I had put in leading that week prior, leading to the game. I was in the gym getting shots up. I was lifting the weights. I was doing everything I was supposed to. I had a good game. And then I'm partying. I'm in the club. I'm late to practice. I'm walking in like I'm the man. And then I turn around and have 0 points. Then I find myself on the bench. And I'm not getting in the game at all. Because I forgot the elements. I forgot the hard work. I forgot the rise in action that led to the climax. So in this moment where that success is over, I gotta go right back up. So don't be that person that gets stuck in your success. The ebbs and flows. Again, Kellen Brandon, born in Flint, Michigan, which I would say was cool. I was one of the first students in my elementary to make a profit at lunch. So what I mean by that, I started bringing my own candy to lunch and selling it for 25 cents. Me and my homeboy Derek. We was tired of paying 50 cents for the Cherry Clan. Y'all don't know about Cherry Clan. And the lemon heads. We was like, man, that's too much. I only got 50 cents for the whole lunch. So you know what? I'm gonna go to the store. I bought a box. Me and him went in on the box and we sold them for 25. We had our own box and then we was selling them to our friends. So now we had lunch money for the whole week. And we was, you know what I'm saying? We was balling, all right? So that's what I started to do. This is where I started to learn entrepreneurship. We started making basketball cards where we would draw people in our school and they were stick figures, but for some reason people were excited about it. And so we would sell those for 25 cents. When the weather days, when it was raining or it was too much snow or it was too cold, we said, our lunch supervisor, his name was Mr. Hill, and we said, you know what, Mr. Hill, man, what if we did like karaoke at lunch? So we started doing karaoke. We started bringing a radio in, doing performances to the point where people didn't even want to go outside for lunch no more. We just wanted to come in and have a concert. So these are things that start happening. And then I had a sexual encounter where I was molested at 10. And that's where things start to go lower. All right? I experienced trauma witnessing a very abusive romantic relationship. It started to go down. I started acting out in the 7th grade, getting in fights. My grades were bad. I got shipped off to live to Dallas, Texas with my father. But that changed my life. I seen a major metroplex city. I seen a lot of diversity. I got out of Flint and I seen that the world was a lot bigger than what I knew. I moved back to Flint, which I thought was cool. I earned a Division I scholarship to play college basketball twice. I suffered an injury. I moved back to Flint. I had a child at 20-something. She's in here somewhere. But my child inspired me. So when I had that child, when I had my daughter, my first daughter, a lot of my mentors, people that I really, really rock with, were so disappointed in me. Like, I can't believe this. You done messed your life up. Remember the characters we talked about. The ones that divide and the ones that multiply, the ones that add and the ones that subtract. These were people that I had close to me that were subtracting from me because my daughter has been nothing but a blessing. All right, so I moved up. She inspired me. I wrote a book. And from that book, I started Brandon Publishing. I became a speaker haphazardly. I developed youth programming for students who wanted to become writers. I got married. I had 2 more beautiful children. Expanded my company to a 6-figure business right before COVID. And then COVID came. Then I got COVID. And that was horrible. Like, I never thought I was about to die till I got COVID. That was like one of the worst experiences of my life. Then after COVID, I got divorced. I lost my children in a divorce, so I didn't get to see my kids every day. I moved to Los Angeles. That was good. I started programming again. I lost the programming. Then I lost 90% of my clients. I had twins with a new love of my life. Lost some of my closest friends because of that. All right? I lost myself. I lost my way. I woke up one day in Los Angeles, California with $6.25 to my name. And I almost committed suicide. I thought about killing myself. I got asked to come speak today, and it was a paid opportunity. I've been hiding for the last 2 years in my house, not doing anything. I got off social media, just like, man, what am I doing? Like, what happened? I forgot the elements of a great story. It's gonna do this. It's gonna do this. That's what makes it great. Because look at y'all. Y'all like, dang, what happened next? Dang, what happened? All right. I remember who the hell I was. All right? And that's why I'm here in front of you today. So I say all that to say, don't stop believing. You are the author of your story. Make sure you write a Harry Potter book. Keep going. Don't stop here. You have a very large book to write. Give yourself a hand.
Hi guys, how are you guys doing today? Okay, so today I'm going to be writing, talking about the poem that I wrote for this book. And to me, it's very special. And it's just about myself and how I felt my first year here at U of M Flint. And it goes like this. Dear Flower, how have you been? Have you seen how far you left from home? Though some see this as growth, others see it as a loaf of where you came from. Despite that, you're still the same as ever. You never wilted or felt ashamed, and you became lifted and free. And that was within you that was strong. That's not wrong, dear Flower. It's clear as day. Despite not being near, you still shower us with love above all, dear Flower. You're still here. So, yeah.
Hi everybody, my name is Miah McQuiller. My major is cybersecurity and I'm in my senior year. My poem reads as follows. To know yourself is to hear the call. To choose yourself is to answer. March 2019, they asked to stay inside. To face my past, my life. There is nowhere else to hide. I looked in the mirror only to find a pre-painted portrait of me every time. A predetermined height, never to grow. A portrait embodying my predetermined worth, but how could anyone know? Prepackaged thoughts like Black women are so strong made it difficult for me to become asking for help later on. When I looked at other portraits to learn and explore and see, there's always a blatant and deliberate lack in diversity. Every picture of red roses were whitewashed. Imagine that. Then painted every color of the rainbow except for brown and black. Too lazy, too loud, affirmative action, and a bunch of other microaggressive attacks. Is this who I am, or all I'll ever be? Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Aniya Callaway. I was the editor of Harmony of Expressions. I did the covers, as Kellen said, for both of these books. If you guys actually go to page 202, you'll see the drawing that I did in the company of this poem. And basically what it represents is having to be perfect all the time. And I wrote this because I was going through a more depressive state of my life, and you put on a mask. So, porcelain. I am made of porcelain, fragile, breaking down. My emotions have fled, leaving me empty and numb. A mask hides my sorrow, concealing the cracks within, shielding my loneliness, afraid to let anyone in. I am made of porcelain. This mask wears me thin, tired, weak, and shattered, my spirit breaking from within. Smile for the camera! Does this happiness deceive? Am I dancing through delight, or is joy just make-believe? I am made of porcelain, begging for repair, broken and falling apart, a burden too much to bear. Let the mask come off, reveal the truth beneath, grant me solace and peace. Release me from this grief. I am made of porcelain.
Transitioning to college is not easy. College comes with new challenges, unfamiliar environments, and the pressure to succeed. For many students, having a strong support system can make all the difference, especially during the first year of college. Speaking of first year experiences, raise your hand if you've ever taken Dr. Gerwood's Introduction to Sociology class. Each year, Dr. Gerwood helps private scholar students navigate their first year of college while exploring the fundamentals of sociology and developing a deeper understanding of the world around them. Now please join me in welcoming two students from the My First Year Experience book to the stage, Tiffani Taylor and Vivian Kilero. They will each read from their personal stories.
My name is Tiffani. I was in sociology. I wrote this last term. From the very beginning of my life, I have been socially constructed, and up until my freshman year in college, I had been constructed unknowingly. From the minute I was born to my mother, who was at that very point in time homeless and addicted to drugs, I was assigned to a social group known as low working class. From the very beginning, the least was expected of me. I mean, statistics would show that I would end up working a low-paying job, needing government assistance for the majority, if not all of my life. Statistics would also show that I was more likely to drop out of high school and never accomplish anything further in an educational journey, or even end up in jail or dead. None of my family ever went to college. It was never an expectation as I was growing up. Lots of them also ended up in jail. A few did prison time, and some became drug dealers and gang members. Many also worked low-paying jobs despite the backbreaking labor they did. Matter of fact, my grandpa worked for a concrete lifting company for 19 years, which literally led him to needing a spinal surgery after his back gave out on the job, all for $14 an hour. Despite all of these things, here I am in college pursuing higher education, but that wasn't always the plan. Despite my family's influence on the person I have become, there are, of course, larger things that have also influenced the path I took and the person I developed into. During my time in high school, I struggled badly with my mental health, and at the worst point in my life so far, I spent nearly all of my high school experience in and out of psychiatric hospitals, where healthcare had repeatedly shown me a way and told me that I didn't need the help I was seeking. I was lower working class and only had Medicaid insurance and was countlessly denied things that would be readily available to other people with the same issues. The difference being that they had higher paying insurance, 14 suicide attempts, and 17 inpatient hospital visits. Could any of them have been prevented if I had just had better insurance or even paid out of pocket? If I wasn't heavily relying on government assistance to get the help I needed, would the healthcare system have been more willing to give me the resources I needed the first time around? If I had so much been born a male rather than a female, or even just spoken up about the difference in treatments, would they have felt the need to make my own health a priority as well? Or is it simply about the amount of money my insurance will pay for them to take care of the issue? The healthcare system had shown many instances of inequality between patients during almost all of my visits by prioritizing people who could pay more, people with better insurance, or even prioritizing care based on age and race, and showcase the privilege of higher class citizens by ensuring that the patients with better insurance got the medical treatment they needed first, while giving the lower class patients the bare minimum. All of these experiences and disadvantages I've encountered throughout my life, oh my God, have led me to want to be greater, to not be a part of the statistics that were assigned to me at birth. I have created a plan to avoid being just another person in my social status who decided to continue the pattern of being born into these situations and continuing to struggle for the rest of my life. Getting my GED was the first step, and then college was, I'm getting emotional. It's been a journey. And college was the second step. After finishing my bachelor's in human biology, I plan to continue on to medical school, where I plan to become an anesthesiologist. Oh, thank you. I aim to show that just because you have struggles growing up, or even if your situation is different or difficult from anyone else you know, it does not in any way mean that you have to follow the pattern that was set before you. It does not in any way mean that you have to follow the pattern that was set before you. I am so proud of myself for even attending college right now, because in high school I never planned to live past 17. And now here I am, almost 5 years later, studying for a college degree. Even though I am so very proud of myself for making it this far, it's only the beginning, and I cannot wait for what's to come.
Hello everyone, my name is Vivian Kilero, and this is my freshman year, and I'm going to be talking about my book I wrote last semester. I'm getting used to college life. I'm starting to get how to do college assignment because the reason I am really failing is because I didn't know how to do it. And when I was having trouble, I never asked for help because I was too scared and I didn't really know how to ask for help. Hey, it's okay that you learn differently. I can try to talk about the material in a better way so that you can understand it's more better, and so that you can pass all your classes and graduate to go to your next step part of life. And so that you can look back at how far you got. This really surprised me because I didn't know that there's another way that I could get my learning knowing that I have to learn in a special way. So now that I have found a way to ask for help, I know I will graduate while still having fun in college. I just know no matter how hard college or life gets, just keep trying no matter what, because soon you are going to get the hang of it and become a really good student. And know you might help another student to show them that they are not alone. I believe if I keep showing up to classes, I'll be okay, because in class I keep asking questions and get the answers I need. Or I can go around class asking my classmates for help, just in case the teacher.
I just want to say y'all killed it. That was very emotional. Very emotional. You did good though. I told you. Okay. As we acknowledge the importance of support systems in education, it's equally vital to celebrate the accomplishments of students who are persevered through challenges and embrace opportunities for growth. Recognizing student achievements isn't just about celebration, it's about encouragement. It validates the hard work, resilience, and determination that students put into their education. More importantly, it creates a ripple effect, inspiring others to push forward, knowing that their efforts will be seen and valued, especially in our KCP family. Please join me in welcoming our KCP student staff leaders.
So this award has been given to an individual who's not necessarily employed by the Office of Educational Opportunity Initiatives, but who nonetheless contributes to the professional pursuits and development of KCP Scholars. During the fall semester, this individual presented a series of workshops dedicated to career development. The workshops received high praise from those who attended. We present the 2025 Career Advocate Award to Kimberly Marsh from the College of Arts and Science and Education.
So a lot of people ask us, how do I become a KCP Scholar? And for one student, that simply meant photobombing us, or a class picture for this fall semester. This individual came to us from Hamady High School and currently maintains a 3.01 GPA at U of M Flint as a mechanical engineer major. Aside from his high GPA, he participates in many KCP events and is a respected member of the KCP family who represents the program well. The STEM Superstar Award goes to Michael Morris. So another award we've got going on is we created the Renaissance Scholar Award for students who excel at a variety of endeavors. And this individual is an expert at many things. She performs well as a nursing student, tutors KCP Scholars in Bio 167, hats off, created the cover art for 2 KCP books published by Brandon Publishing, and managed the entire Harmony of Expressions book project, which is a lot for one person. A true Renaissance scholar from Carmen Ainsworth High School, this award goes to Aniya Callaway. So, like the Renaissance Scholar Award, the next award goes to somebody who's good at many things. This individual handles their schoolwork, participates in KCP activities, and records momentum videos, even writes the scripts for those videos. Their next endeavor will be to design the next KCP shirt that drops next fall semester. Exciting. We know this individual is clearly going to be a mogul soon. The KCP Scholar receiving our Future Mogul Award is Rasheem Foster.
So the person receiving this award today is the #1 Promise Scholar this year. It could be a long speech about many accomplishments that he had. This individual came to us in 2021 as an OG Promise Scholar and proceeded to excel every semester. Graduating this year with 3.2 GPA, he is everywhere on campus, exemplifying what drives every KCP scholar towards success. We are biased by his mother's cooking, which can go head to head with Chef Nate's. But we like to take a moment to recognize one of our greats with this award, with our #1 Promise Scholar Award going to this year, Joe Bishai.
Diligence, dedication, persistence, resilience. These words describe our next award winner, another OG Promise Scholar from the 2021 cohort. This individual was one of the first to move into Riverfront for the summer bridge 4 years ago. They experienced the ups and downs of college life, but they never gave up. Some students may consider leaving Flint for Ann Arbor, but this student made her own way from Ann Arbor to Flint. It's the better way to go. She attends many KCP events and always brings a smile to your face anytime you see her. We are so thankful that this individual has stuck with it all the way to her graduation this year. Let's all celebrate the success of #1 scholar Kiara Colin.
As we wrap up our discussions and reflections on the valuable experience shared today, it's time to hear from Dr. Burr with his closing remarks and tie together the key points and inspire us to carry forward the lessons learned.